Somebody asked me about YNWMelly today. I didn't get a lot of people asking about him though. But somebody did ask me about him because I brought his name up in an earlier blog. I want to do this one, so I'm going to do it. The reason why I think YNWMelly going to have a hard time beating this case. Because I kind of don't think he going to beat it, but I don't want to say that and manifest no bad energy against no young man who might be innocent. But the police is claiming that he killed his two friends along with his other friend, okay? They claiming that Melly did this shit. I don't know why, but I done did a little research on this too, and I spoke on this on my old YouTube channel. As I did my research, I'm not gonna lie, after this death, I kind of did a lot of research on YNW crew, and one of the guys who was killed in that car, Melly mama was disrespecting him like hell. She was saying shit like, Melly, my son. On some real shit, she was dissing him like a motherfucker. So I don't think his mama liked one of those guys who got killed. That was kind of weird. Now, number two, the police is saying that Melly and Cortland was in the back seat, okay? Then the two friends were in the front, in the passenger front seat. The police say one of them caught a bullet to the back of the head, like shoulders and shit. The next one caught a bullet to the back of the head and I believe somewhere else. They saying that Melly did that shit. And I'm going to tell you why. They claim that they got a videotape of them leaving out of a studio at 3-something in the morning. And it shows the direction of how each person got inside of a Jeep. Okay? Then they saying sometime in that ride, this murder happened. They saying Melly shot because there's a lot of blood and shit, and a bullet came from like the side where Melly was at, okay? So they saying Melly shot Buddy and then shot the other dude, and then him and Cortland got out the car and shot the side of the car, the right side of the car, to make it look like a drive-by. This is what the police saying. But the police is saying that the bullet projections don't add up because it's a shot to the back of the head and some like on shoulders and shit, right? And you guys are shooting this way through the side of the car. Why it ain't coming through the back of the car and all kind of shit. So forensics is saying the people in the car shot him. And they found the casing, they claiming, that comes out when you shoot the bullet. And they claiming, why is that casing in the car? And then they're saying that, it's blood, like a lot of blood in a certain spot that shouldn't be there. So they claiming that Melly did this shit and tried to cover it up with Portland. So they shot at the car. Another thing that looks bad for Melly is right before they took those guys to the hospital, Melly called the manager and the manager picked him up and he got the fuck on. So Cortland or whatever the fuck, and the manager bring the dead people. I mean, Cortland and whoever else, I don't know. I don't want to say the manager, but they take the people to the hospital. Police asking questions and shit. So now we get into later on them charging Melly and Cortland of the murder. That's a lot of evidence. And then when you got forensics, that's hard because those people are like skilled. They still make mistakes though. So don't get that twisted. We ain't seen a lot of people make mistakes in the forensic shit. So I don't want to just say that's the whole, but if you ain't got no forensics to overbeat they forensics, then that's going to be hard. They claiming they got video of how y'all got in the car. They claiming that the bullet shit projections don't match up. They claiming that you got off the car before the shit happened. I don't know how you going to defend that. Is you just going to go in there and say, man, they picking on me. I don't know what they talking about. You do that, you going to go to jail. And I think if you stand on it, the projection's too hard about just saying, man, look, I'm innocent. The police is trying to do me dirty. That's different, maybe accusing you of something else, but accusing you of killing your homeboys. It must have been people in the community, maybe some of their family members who felt like you guys would be capable of doing that. This not all the police, and I think that's what the fans forgetting. The police ain't the only ones who looked at this shit and said, Melly did this. Those other two members' family is accusing Melly of doing this shit too. They're accusing that it was weird shit going on. Even though they was homeboys, there was shit going on. So I think with the family and all that evidence, it's gonna be hard for Melly to beat that. But the police do be on people, and I heard Melly had past issues with the police, so I wouldn't be surprised if the police tried to do some dirty shit and set him up. But in my opinion, I think it's gonna be hard for that brother to beat the case because there's just too much shit piled on him. Unless he got a defense that we don't know about, I'm not sure, but I know he got a good lawyer. He got the same lawyer that Boosie had to beat this murder case. Boosie was on death row, man. He beat that shit. So I think Melly in good hands, but I think he's going to have to come up with a defense, or maybe he came up with one and it just ain't out and we don't know about it. But just to go in there and say, I don't know why I'm here, that shit not going to work. It's the only truth.